Today, it's all about the classics. American classics. But I'm gonna mix them up. I'm taking 3 beloved American regional dishes and giving them a new twist. First, Maryland lump crab meat dip with roasted chiles. Ooh, you can see how cheesy it is. Then, Alan is helping me with an outrageous, crunchy, sweet and spicy southern fried chicken. Oh my God, look at these! For dessert, chocolate pecan pie with a Mexican favorite, dulce de leche caramel. And nothing makes me happier than sharing new recipes with my 3 boys.
Oh, wait, I'll wait.
Oh, wait.
Oh, I won't wait.
Since when do we wait?
Yeah, we don't wait.
Dame tu piloncillo, dame café caliente, dame tu corazón.
Today is all about American regional classics, but I'm gonna mix them up. And I'm gonna start with a crab dip. And I'm gonna use crab from Maryland. And I'm gonna give this crab dip a new name. It's gonna be called Mary Mix. 1/4 cup of mayo. We're making a crab dip using crab from Maryland because I live in Maryland. And I just wanted to do an homage to an ingredient that is known and loved in this place, which has been my home for the past 20 years. A 1/4 cup of Mexican crema. Crema adds a tangy and salty layer to that creamy, sweet taste from the mayo. So I'm gonna mix this up. 1/4 cup of cotija cheese, which is salty and dry and has that aged flavor, sort of like Parmesan. So you can think of cotija cheese as the Mexican version of Parmesan cheese. 1/2 cup of Munster cheese, a teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce, 1 tablespoon of fresh squeezed lime juice, teaspoon of cayenne pepper, 3 tablespoons of these chiles toreados, but I'm gonna chop them. And this is a really, really fun Mexican ingredient. Chiles toreados are serrano or jalapeno chiles that have been roasted or charred. And then the chiles, after they've been roasted, they are marinated in a mix of soy and lime juice. And then onion gets added. So you get these like salty, citrusy vinegar taste that permeates the chilies and makes them a little bit briny and pickled, but in a very delicious way. And then I'm gonna add 4 scallions, and I'm gonna thinly slice the white parts and the light green parts. I love giving a Mexican twist to American classic recipes, and it took me a while to get here because right after I moved to the US, I wasn't mixing things up that much until I realized that there were things already in the Mexican repertoire and in the American repertoire that were already bicultural. And I realized, hey, there's an open door here for me to play. And since then, I've been playing. And my boys love it when I create these dishes. So I have this mix here, and I'm gonna add a pound of Maryland lump crab. This is so easy. So I'm gonna scrape it onto this baking dish. You could eat it just like this, but by baking it in the oven, it's gonna all come together, and that Munster cheese in there is gonna melt and create a nice crust on the top. I had left another 1/4 cup of the crumbled cotija cheese to sprinkle on top. And that browns beautifully when baked in the oven. So I have the oven at 350, and I'm gonna bake these for about 30 minutes. Who doesn't love Southern fried chicken? And I love it spicy. So what I'm gonna do is start with the marinade. And it's gonna be buttermilk based, but I'm gonna add a lot of flavor to that buttermilk. So I'm gonna start by toasting some chilies. I'm gonna add 4 guajillo chiles, And by now, you should know it's subtle, it's bright, and it's just not spicy at all. However, the chiles de árbol, these ones are super spicy, but they have this spicy element with a lot of flavor. It's smoky, it's rustic, it's charred, it's deep. So I'm gonna mix these two. So I have my comal, and I'm toasting the 4 guajillos and the 4 chiles de árbol. And this is a basic Mexican technique when you want to bring back to life those dried chiles. So now we're waking them up, and you can see the fumes that are starting to rise. So even though the chile is dry, they're not toasted and dry and brittle, and we need to get them to the toasted stage so that we can grind them. You see the color will change from the bright red in the guajillo to a darker brown. And in the chile de árbol, it's just gonna toast. That's good. We want that toasted. When you just toast your chiles and you wanna grind them, like I wanna do right now, don't do it immediately. Because when you toast your chiles, the oils release, so the chiles actually won't be that dry. You have to let them dry for a second after you toast them. And I'm gonna start flavoring my buttermilk. I have 3 cups of buttermilk. And the buttermilk is going not only to give my chicken a tangy taste, but because it is acidic, it's also going to tenderize the meat. I'm adding a teaspoon of salt, some freshly ground black pepper, and it goes with the chiles. Mexican chiles love the company of black pepper. Half a cup of chipotle chiles in adobo and their sauce. The chipotle chile in adobo, I think, is one of the ingredients that we use the most at home because it's an ingredient that is so complex in its flavors. You're adding sweet, you're adding spicy, rustic, smoky, tangy. And the last thing I'm gonna add is this ground mixture of my dried chiles. And now that I toasted them, they'll crumble. And now I can break them into my spice grinder. You can do this with a food processor. You can do this with your blender. You can also put these chiles in a little plastic bag and just roll your rolling pin right on top of them or hit them with a skillet and they will also grind. And these are ready. I'm gonna add 1 tablespoon and you can see how pretty it is, the colors. Okay, so the mixture looks beautiful. So I have a whole cut up chicken. I'm gonna add some of the buttermilk mixture so that it's in the bottom. And I'm gonna start adding my chicken. I think the first time that I tried the American in the US fried chicken was when we moved to Dallas. They had really good fried chicken. And you can just start to think of what this is gonna do to this chicken because it has the tangy and salty buttermilk taste. And it has the 3 different kinds of chilies. You can marinate these for just a couple of hours, but if you can marinate it for 48 hours, it's gonna be even better. I'm gonna finally chop the green parts of the scallions that I had reserved. Ooh, you can see how cheesy it is. Come see, come see, come see, come see. It's cheesy, it's creamy. It has that like pickled rustic taste from the toreados. My boys are gonna so love these. I'm gonna save the rest for them. I had never tried pecan pie until I moved to the US. My boys love it with chocolate, but today I'm making it very Mexican by making it a dulce de leche caramel chocolate pecan pie. I'm gonna make the crust in the food processor, which I find to be the easiest thing. 1¼ cups of flour, a teaspoon of sugar, a pinch of salt, and then I'm gonna add 1 stick of butter, but it is really chilled and hard. You don't want it at room temperature because having those cold pieces of butter is what's gonna make my dough be very flaky when it cooks. So I'm going to start processing the dough, and you're not gonna process over low or high, you're just gonna pulse a few times. See, it looks very crumbly. And now I'm gonna start adding cold water. And you also wanna add cold water for the same reason as you're adding the cold butter. 2 tablespoons of cold water. And I'm gonna pulse just until I'm able to cobble it up together. I'll show you. Okay, so I'm gonna do a couple more tablespoons. See, I wanna keep on adding water and pulsing until I can grab the mixture here, and when I put it together with my hands, it should come together and stay together. So it needs a little bit more. So I'm gonna add 2 more tablespoons. I'm gonna pulse again. Yes, okay, we're there. Let me show you why. When I grab the crumbled dough and I hold it together, it stays together. That's how you know you need to stop. And I don't wanna play with these too much. I just wanna make it come together because the whole point of this crust is to be really, really flaky. So I'm just cobbling it together and putting it here right in the middle of my plastic wrap. We love pie at home. I don't make as much pie as my boys would love because I'm much better at making pound cake and cookies, and it is our American friends who have brought the American pies into our homes, and it has been the demand of my boys that has led me to make more pie. So I'm getting better at it. I'm gonna make like a flat ball. And this is a traditional dough for making crust for pecan pie, but you can also use it to make other pies. I'm gonna put it in the fridge and it's gonna chill for an hour. While my dough is chilling, I'm gonna make the filling. So I'm gonna begin with 3 eggs, and I'm just gonna crack them in this large bowl because I'm just gonna mix everything right in here. I tasted pecan pie just when I moved to the US. I hadn't even heard about it before. And then I ate it for many years, just traditional pecan pie. And then my friend Deborah started making chocolate pecan pie. And then I love that even more. And then my boys started requesting specifically that chocolate pecan pie from my friend Deborah. So I thought, okay, if I'm gonna make it at home, I need to make it my own. So I'm gonna make it even more my own with a Mexican ingredient that I love, which is cajeta. A very generous cup of cinnamon dulce de leche caramel because the cinnamon goes really well with all of the ingredients that we're adding in here. 4 tablespoons of melted butter, 1/4 cup of light corn syrup, 1/4 cup of dark brown sugar. Then I'm gonna add 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And this is what makes the pecan pie so gooey and delicious. Just look at how gooey and delicious the mixture looks. So the cajeta, or dulce de leche caramel, is gonna make it even more caramelly and sticky and gooey. And now I'm gonna add 1/3 cup of chocolate chunks. And these are bittersweet chocolate chunks. And then I'm gonna add 2 cups of pecans. And I'm gonna just coarsely chop them. So in this pie, I feel like 2 cups of pecans are more than the usual, but not too much that they will take over and just completely mess up the idea of a delicious pecan pie. And I love playing with those borders. Like, when is too much too much? Because I always like too much of the things that I like. I mean, if it's a pecan pie, it should have a lot of pecans, right? It is gooey already. Looks irresistible already. Okay, so now I'm gonna roll out my dough. I like to roll my dough right here on the countertop. So I'm gonna sprinkle some flour. I have about a 9-inch pie plate, so I wanna get closer to 11 inches, between 10 and 11 inches, because you want enough dough to cover the bottom, but you also wanna go up the sides. That looks bigger than big enough, but it's better to have it bigger than smaller. I love playing with dough. Love playing with dough. There are many, many, many techniques for crimping the edges of the pie. My friend Martita showed me hers. So you put your knuckle on the edge, and then you try to make a little triangle shape like that. And then I'm just gonna pour my super sticky, gooey, chocolatey, caramelly, pecan-y filling in here. Okay, now I'm really proud. It looks delicious, it looks beautiful, and I can't wait to eat it. Loosely cover it with aluminum foil, and I have my oven set at 375, and I'm gonna bake it for 50 to 55 minutes. Classic regional recipes can be found all over Mexico. One of the most famous dishes from the Baja Peninsula is a gift from the bountiful seas that surround it. Just south of Tijuana, nestled along the Pacific Ocean, is Puerto Nuevo, a tiny lobster village where fresh fish are pulled right from the sea and onto your plate. All roads here either lead you to the ocean or, even better, to some delicious lobster. One of the very first restaurants to open here, Puerto Nuevo Dos, still serves the lobster in the same way they did 40 years ago, when the fishermen first began to settle here. The traditional lobster recipe is called Puerto Nuevo style. Live lobster is split down the middle, then it's seasoned with salt and pepper and deep fried in lard, giving it the most tender, luscious texture. It's served with hot melted butter and freshly made rice and beans, and of course handmade flour tortillas. When it arrives at your table, it's only natural to make yourself a nice little taco. So simple, so fresh, but packed with so much flavor, it's no wonder that people travel from all over just to try this dish. A perfect bite in Mexico's little lobster town. ¡Qué rico! My chicken has been marinating about 4 hours. And now I'm gonna make the breading. And I want the breading to have as much flavor and as much of a punch as the marinade. So I'm adding 3 cups of flour, a teaspoon of paprika, which is gonna give it like that smoky taste without being hot. I'm adding something that is definitely gonna add a lot of heat, which is my remaining ground guajillo and chile de árbol. So I have about 2 tablespoons here, 2 teaspoons salt, about a half a teaspoon of freshly ground pepper. I'll check my oil, and it should be around 365, so anywhere between 360 and 370.
Mamá.
And Alan, hola, mi amor.
¿Cómo estás?
Vamos a hacer Southern style fried chicken.
Very nice.
I think my favorite chicken part is the chicken wing.
The chicken wing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
You too?
Yeah, because it has the most flavor.
And the chicken
so much
wing,
flavor.
it's like it's fun to eat.
Yeah. You get to lick the bones.
You get exactly.
Yeah. You don't normally make fried chicken or fried foods. What's the deal? What changed, huh?
We're doing it first.
Very nice.
We're doing more Mex-Americana things as our home gets more Mex-Americana style. Like go slow.
Yeah.
And don't just make any clash.
Okay.
Please. Slow. Don't drop it. Slow, slow, slow. Sacas la manita. No tocas el aceite, ¿verdad?
No.
Yay! Alan, can you pass me that drying rack? Because what we're gonna do now, which is also very different from what we do, is we're gonna fry the chicken until it's brown and crispy, and then we're gonna take it out, put it in here, and put it in the oven, which is at 350, while we continue frying so that the chicken really fully cooks.
Okay, I've never heard of this.
I know.
Okay, cool.
These, there's things to learn in the US.
Yeah.
I know you love American-style fried chicken. You love those sandwiches.
Oh, I love fried chicken sandwiches.
Yeah. Mira ya como cambió el color del aceite.
Wow.
Ay,
That looks so
Alan.
crispy. That looks so
Oh my God, look at these. Did you see how hard it is?
Oh my God, it's perfect. You could hear the clink.
I know, you can hear the crack. Ooh, beso. Okay, let's put that on the side and let's add the rest of this chicken.
Oh, you can still hear it sizzling.
I know, it's here.
Music.
Okay, as it continues to sizzle, we're gonna make a habanero honey.
Okay.
Okay, so we need a half a cup of honey, quarter cup chiles habaneros, and we can add some of that juice too.
Yeah. Mas?
I think that's good.
Okay.
These we just wanna cook here over medium-low heat, just until it mixes. The honey's gonna start getting all that habanero
It's gonna become
taste.
really thick, no?
It's gonna get, so if we cooked it a long time, it would get thicker and it would condense, but we just want the habanero to be forced to infuse the
mix,
honey.
This looks insane.
I know. You want with the honey?
Of course.
Uy, el habanero. ¿Qué tal, qué tal, qué tal? ¿Qué tal, qué tal, qué tal?
This is so good.
It's like so intensely sweet and so intensely spicy at the same time. Like my brain is going, I don't know what's going on, but give me more, give me more.
No.
Don't tell your brothers that we ate the wings.
I won't.
You want to go get them?
I'm busy.
And I'll clean up. Hola, mi amor. You know, I didn't know there was like so much history and depth in the theme of fried chicken in the US. Turns out like all these regions and states and even cities have their way of making Southern chicken and like the way they eat it, like with the bread, no bread, roll, no roll, sandwich, no sandwich.
Yeah, crab dip is amazing.
See?
Really good. I like it because it's not too cheesy, you know?
Right?
Like sometimes you'll get a crab dip that's like all cheese and just like little bits of crab.
Yeah.
But this is like almost all crab. I love that.
Even though chicken by itself has tons of flavor, and it's really crispy, and you can taste the spices.
Can you taste the heat?
I think that these are all like very American at the core, right? The ingredients, like the crab here, it's mostly crab, and the fried chicken. But what makes it Mexican is like, you know, the extra touch, the spice. Whoa.
You know pecan pie?
I love pecan pie.
This is dulce de leche caramel chocolate pecan pie.
Wow. Wow. Oh, thank you. Oh, so kind. Oh, wait, I'll wait.
We'll wait.
Oh, I won't wait.
Since when do we wait?
Yeah, we don't wait. So good. Oh, it's so soft and chocolatey. I love it. Oh, it's crazy. And it still has the chocolate chunks, like, still intact.
Yeah.
I like them.
You can definitely taste the Mexican dulce de leche caramel in there, no?
Yeah, absolutely.
I love all of these Mex-American foods, and I love our Mex-American home, and I love even more my Mex-American voice. I'm gonna keep on making more Mex-American, American, Mexican, and all sorts of things for you guys to keep on sitting here and eating food with me. So send me your requests.
Cheeseburger, but the cheese is chicharrón.
Oh my God,
Just
sold.
all
Chicharrón de queso.
chicharrón, yeah.